We are starting week 2 of the Pantry Challenge, which so far has not been that challenging. I am enjoying going through the freezers, going through the pantry. I am learning that you really do have to be very careful about labeling stuff you put in your freezer because no, you're not going to remember what that is. I had this bag of completely mysterious I don't know what, but luckily I wrote on it shredded zucchini. If I had not written that, I don't think I'd ever figure out what that was. No, I would not. So I had taken zucchini from the summer, shredded it, bagged it. So once I thawed out, it is ready to go to make zucchini bread. Although it does give me a little bit of anxiety in a way to use up all my stockpile in the pantry. I'm not going to use it all up. There's no possible way. I'm just not. But the idea of using it, especially with winter coming when you should be stocking up and preparing for all the blizzards and the cold and the hardship, I mean, that's kind of nature, right? Nature tells you to stock up. Squirrels are collecting their nuts. They're not eating their nuts now. We're eating our nuts now, but we won't eat it all. But anyway, it does give me a little anxiety because, you know, I like to hoard a supply of food. It's a survival instinct. I'm very keen. Like a cave woman. Right, cave baby? Yeah. Yes. But anyway, it still also, on the other hand, feels very good to use up stuff in the pantry because there's just too much there. And by using stuff up, it will also allow me, well, one, to save some out-of-pocket money right now, and I'll be able to clean and reorganize the pantry a little bit more easily. Same with the fridge and the freezers, of course. What's in our immediate future for food? Well, we're having spaghetti tonight. Pasta is always the fabulous standby. It turned into the other baby! That was like a little piece of Halloween magic. Tonight I have some leftover mashed potatoes to work with. People seem to be losing interest in the mashed potatoes I made the other night. What are you doing? Alright, tonight we have some leftover mashed potatoes to work with. I'm not going to let them go to waste. So I also have, what is he doing that is making all that noise? Do you want to eat any mashed potatoes tonight? No. So I also have a cabbage. So I thought, colcannon, make colcannon. Get in touch with your Irish heritage. What is colcannon, you ask? I'm going to shred up the cabbage and cook it. And I'm just going to mix it in with the mashed potatoes. And I think that's basically what colcannon is. You're getting spaghetti. Is there anything we have finished up? We finished up a jar of pickles today. Have not even made a dent in the cereal supply, have we?
No.
No. All right, day 2 of week 2 pantry challenge. We're about to go to the grocery store because, as you recall, we are allotting $10 a week so that we can spend about $4 on milk, and then I have $6 left to spend on anything that there's a fabulous deal on. So we're about to go do some couponing at the grocery store, but first, let me show you what I have over here. Oh, that's right, you guessed it. We have 15 bins. See the attractive bins? All packed with bags of dry cat food and dog food that my husband got dumpster diving behind, not the Dollar Tree, but some dollar type store. See, there's Meow Mix in there. Alrighty, back from the grocery store. I'd say we got $60 to $70 worth of groceries, and I believe I spent $4.50 out of the allotted 6. I got 8 cans of these organic diced tomatoes. I got this Domino sugar sprinkle thing. That was 49 cents with coupons. 4 cans of the, well, yes, soup. Those were free. Coupon combined with sale. Yippee. 2 bags of my very favorite 8 o'clock coffee. 2 Hungry Jack microwavable syrups. 4 Purex laundry detergents. 3 more Annie's mac and cheese. Alright, it's early in the morning. I believe we are on day 3 of week 2 of the pantry challenge. And we decided, we being me, the royal we, we're gonna quickly whip up a mini batch of blueberry muffins for breakfast for the kids. I have to do it quick because I gotta get it in the oven and out of the oven so they can eat before school. Fresh muffins for breakfast. I know, I have very lucky kids. It's gonna be like a half batch. we're going to start with 1 cup of flour. Here we go. A ½ cup of sugar. Or less if you don't want yours too sweet. ½ a teaspoon of baking powder and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now, I do have eggs, but I don't want to use my eggs for this because I want to conserve my eggs because we're doing a pantry challenge. So, I'm going to use some white vinegar. The white vinegar will react with the baking soda and it will make the muffins rise. And yes, this does work. I do it all the time. Now, for the wet ingredients, first we will put in about 1/4 to 1/3 a cup of oil/melted margarine. I am really low on oil, and the only oil I have right now is olive oil. I don't really want to put olive oil in the muffins, so I'm using melted margarine. Bloop, bloop. We'll put in a little drip drop of vanilla, which I'm almost out of. Note to self, stockpile up on vanilla extract for the coming apocalypse. Zombie or otherwise. We're going to put in our little splash of vinegar, not too much. And about, I don't know, 1/3 to ½ cup of milk. Just going to see how much it looks like it needs. Give it a little whiskey poop. Oh, we got a little flour on the floor. All right. This definitely is a mini batch. All right, it needs a little bit more milk because it's kind of thick. Because again, we don't have the moisture of a whole egg. A splash of vinegar adds a lot less moisture than that whole egg would have done. So, there we go. You do not want to overmix your muffins, or else you come up with a tough muffin rather than a tender, tasty muffin. Alrighty, there we go. That's all in. Now we're going to put in some of our frozen blueberries. Alright, blueberries in. We don't want them to get caught in the whisk. So we're shifting over to a spatula. Alright, now we're going to spoon the batter into our muffin pan and pop them into the 350 oven for about 20 minutes. Alrighty, and into the oven. And this should be on a cookie tray to give it support. See how floopy it is? Alright. Here's my little morning frugal baby helper! Yeah! Don't we wake up full of energy? The sun's not even up yet! Okay, what are we making for lunch today with our frugal pantry challenge? What do you want? Let me tell you what we have. Let's see what we have I can offer. I can offer peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Classic. Don't they look delightful? Yes, I spilled batter all over the muffin pan. That part, just ignore that part. Ignore all that burned muffin batter. But look how nice they are. And they did puff off. Yes, the vinegar works. Oh, yes, they're beautiful. Here is the Frugal blueberry muffin. Lovin' baby, Miss Autumn. Are you excited about the blueberry muffins? Yes, Frugal Daddy just stuck American flag toothpicks into their blueberry muffins. All right, girls, what do you think of your fresh, hot, homemade blueberry muffins? Thumbs up. Alrighty, we're nearing the end of week 2 of our pantry challenge. We still have, in quantity, plenty of food. Nobody's going to starve to death here in week 2 of the pantry challenge. What I am finding, though, is that the variety is starting to dwindle a little bit, and I'm definitely seeing what I would like to have stocked up more on in order to have a really good long-term stockpile. For example, we've run out of almonds, peanuts, and raisins. So I would definitely love to stock up more on nuts, but nuts are a little bit expensive for me. My very favoriteest candy is it's not even candy, but I mean raisins and peanuts together. To me, that's candy. I love that combination, and we're out of it, and that's sad. Well, my kids love raisins and peanuts too. And like I said, the almonds are gone. I'm almost out of vanilla extract. When you're stocking up your prepper's pantry, you probably don't think of vanilla extract. I don't know. I never did before, but I'm thinking, yes, I would like to get a good deal on vanilla extract and have more of it. What am I having for breakfast today? Well, the oft spoke of toast and baked beans. Baked beans on toast. I'm not that wild about baked beans, but nobody else in the house is going to eat them. I do have a cat that appears to like them, so I might share this last bit with her. I think I will. Now, I do still have some butter and margarine, but I really want to save it. My husband can't eat the butter for medical reasons, but he can have margarine, so I want to save the margarine for him. My kids like butter on their potatoes and toast and bagels and other things, so I want to save that for them. So something I've done in the past, and I'm going to do now, as kind of a substitute for butter, salt. Now, if you have high blood pressure and you're on a low sodium diet, or for whatever reason, you don't have to put salt on your toast. I'm just telling you, when I don't have butter on my toast, I think the flavor I'm missing is the saltiness of the butter. I could just go straight for putting the baked beans on, but I'm going to put a little salt on my toast. So I'm tricking myself into thinking delicious buttery toast. There's a poverty trick for you right there. Now, I don't goop on a whole lot of baked beans at once because I just have a tendency to spill it all over the place. That's why my baked beans in a bowl right now. And we'll just put on a little at a time. Filling and so yummy. I know a lot of people like this. I think you have to grow up eating it to like it. But definitely not the worst thing I've ever eaten. I have watched quite a few videos on YouTube that show people's food pantry hauls. I am all for using food pantries. I absolutely believe that people should never feel ashamed to get help if they need it. That's what food pantries are there for. I think it's very important for the community to respond to the needs of its neighbors. Food pantries are a great thing. I've also watched a lot of videos on food scarcity, documentaries on food bank use, the working poor, poverty, all that kind of thing. And when I watch these, I really vacillate between thinking, wow, I should go to a food bank. I'd like to get some of that free food. And thinking, I need to give to a food bank. I need to support them and give them food. So, what I've decided to do today in the midst of my pantry challenge is to donate some food to our local food pantry. Because something I'm trying to teach my kids is that no matter how little we have, no matter what, and obviously I have a lot more than just a little food. I mean, I've shown you my pantries and my freezer and stuff. I have a lot of food, just not a lot of variety. But what I'm trying to teach them is no matter how much we feel like we don't have, how little we feel like we can afford, how little we think we have, we always have enough to share, right? Because there are people who always are in greater need than we are, obviously. So I went through the pantry and I gathered some things. I'm going to go up to the big cupboard and get some boxes of cereal because I have a lot of cereal. And I'm just going to take it over to the local food pantry today. What I like to do, what I prefer actually, is giving directly to homeless people. And I just say this in order just to throw ideas out there for people. My husband has had to have a lot of medical appointments in Philadelphia and has had several lengthy hospitalizations in Philadelphia. So one time the girls and I were in Philly to visit him. And we were driving home. And to come back to New Jersey, you have to go over a bridge because there's a river in between. So we were kind of stopped in the midst of rush hour traffic approaching the bridge. And there was this homeless person kind of working the traffic situation, you know, kind of knew where the traffic would stop, where people had to go off to one highway or go off to a light to get to the bridge. And he'd kind of maneuver his way through the stopped traffic asking for help. And I have found in subsequent journeys through Philadelphia that that's pretty typical practice. And the person who's there working the traffic jam, it varies. I mean, it's different homeless people every time, and there's different various spots during rush hour that you can kind of find them trying to get some help. So this first time we were going through, I wanted to help this guy. My first social work job I ever had was working at a homeless shelter, and I really have a thing for homeless people. And so all I had in the car really to give him at that moment was an apple, because I brought snacks for the kids, and we had eaten pretty much what I brought, and I had an apple that I gave him. That was all I had. So the next day when we came to Philly, I thought, well, in case we run into a homeless person again, let me bring a little bit more food. So I brought, I think I brought some more fruit, and I think I brought a soda, and I think I brought a box of crackers, something like that. And yes, we did encounter a different homeless person in the traffic, and we gave him that food. I'm not really big on giving cash, but I do want to share what I have in terms of food. So then the next time we went, and several subsequent visits to Philadelphia, what I've done is I've tried to put together kind of like a care package to hand to a homeless person in order to hopefully just help their lives just be a little bit better maybe that day. If they don't want the stuff and they throw it out, that's their choice. If they want to give it to somebody else, that's fine. But what I try to do is take a big, plastic garbage bag, because I don't really have anything else to put this in. And I try to put in a blanket, and I try to think of things that I think, well, what would I want if I was homeless? Like, what could I really use? Besides money and cash, what would make my life a little bit better? So I put in a blanket, a towel, a jacket, some clean socks, and then I put in various toiletries like toothpaste and a toothbrush and deodorant, and I try to sometimes put in some over-the-counter medicine, because I think, well, if I was homeless and I had a really bad headache, that would just suck even worse than just being homeless. So it'd be nice to have some Tylenol or some cold medicine or, whatever. And then I try to put in some food, whatever I have. I try to give some fresh fruit, and I try to give canned food that has like a pop top that they can, pop open. So maybe canned fruit, canned spaghetti, and any canned food with like a pop top, something they can obviously eat immediately. Giving them a can of something that they need a can opener for and have to cook isn't that helpful. I'll give pretzels or cereal or granola bars or just whatever I have in the house. So I'll try to put this big bag together, and then we drive to the hospital to visit Daddy, and whoever we encounter first who's asking for help is the person we give the help to. And that's really what I like to do, but I don't go into Philadelphia that often. When he's in the hospital, we go regularly, but then there's long periods of time we're not going into Philadelphia. So in the meantime, I'm going to take this stuff over to the food bank. Otherwise, things are going fine. I've eaten a lot of cold cannon this week, which is the cabbage mixed in with the mashed potatoes, because nothing can go to waste, nothing can get thrown out, and there's just some things that nobody else in the family's going to want to eat, so I am eating them, and eating a lot of sweet potato casserole that I pulled out of the fridge. I've had a lot of meals that are like a combination of sweet potato casserole and kind of like scalloped apples, which actually together is quite a nice, tasty combination. Pantry challenge week 2, it's going pretty well. It's going pretty well. There you go.